The Arab-Israeli conflict, a festering boil on the rump of the world. I arrived in this fray, an amateur war correspondent, determined to find the war and ask, why can't these people just get along?
Behind me is the bustling cosmopolitan city of Tel Aviv. We've been here now for nearly 24 hours, and the thing that strikes us the most is the almost banal normality of the situation.
I'd arrived in Tel Aviv expecting to be able to immediately find the war, but everything seemed strangely normal. In fact, Tel Aviv could have been any cosmopolitan city anywhere in the world. From the beginning of my quest, things seemed to go awry.
Seem to have had an accident with the tripod.
Despite this, there was some good news. With no sign of the war and no real idea who to ask, I spent several days filming scenic shots of myself in picturesque Tel Aviv, unaware of a looming crisis.
We've been forced today to move lodgings. We suddenly discovered that we had spent slightly more than we'd anticipated. Aaron's not too happy.
Unbeknown to me, during the course of the filming, my cameraman Aaron had been recording secret diary tapes of how he perceived the film to be going.
Hi everyone. I've actually got a number of reservations about this project. All you'll tell me is it's about people and that on Christmas we're going to go to Bethlehem and eat a chicken. I don't even really like chicken.
Things are looking up, however. I'm pretty sure that tomorrow we'll actually get around to interviewing someone. Dave?
Yes.
What's your thing? You're in the tourism business?
Indeed.
In Israel?
Yes.
How's that going?
Great. You can keep yourself occupied here pretty easily.
It was during the course of our first interview that I noticed another small flaw in my plan. Aaron.
Aaron, do you want to move away from there?
I'm not actually a cameraman. I don't know how to operate this thing. We were supposed to be learning how to use it in the week of preparation that we had in Spain, and I think it'd be fair to say that we didn't really accomplish much. I've also got an eye condition called keratoconus, which means that I can't actually see very well. And not only am I willing to do it without pay, I'm actually paying my own way. So far I've been paying his way as well.
With our cover as professional filmmakers shattered like so many peace plans, we fled to Jerusalem, the holy city. Arriving at the old walled city of Jerusalem, we were met by hordes of friendly men. Aaron suggested I ignore them, saying they were simply touts, whose faux friendliness was designed solely to part us from what little cash we had left. But they seemed genuinely friendly. One of them even invited me into his store for a cup of coffee.
So how are you?
We're good. How are you?
Very fine.
How is business?
Very bad.
How much are the red
Kefir?
kefir?
$3 million.
$3 million. Is that New Zealand dollars or American dollars?
Australian dollars.
Australian dollars.
All I had wanted was the kefir, but the storekeeper seemed to think that he had several other things that I might also be interested in.
I want to give it to him for 100 shekels. Good?
In my capacity as travel coordinator, I've decided to ban Andrew from carrying money at all. Yesterday, he paid the equivalent of $30 American for a tea towel.
I later discovered that the normal price for a kefir was $5. Coincidentally, that day's newspaper featured the story of a woman who carried a suicide belt across a checkpoint, a task for which she was paid $30. Much of Jerusalem is dominated by a large gold-domed building. Still unable to find the war, I was sauntering towards it when I happened upon some people who appeared to be particularly excited by a wall. Of course, this wasn't just any wall, but one of the most famous pieces of masonry in the world, the Western, or so-called, Wailing Wall.
There's a religious devotional activity of all kinds going on. We have really no idea what's happening. We've been given little cardboard hats to wear. I myself went and touched the wall expecting, I don't know, some kind of revelation. Instead, all I felt was the cold, hard touch of stone.
The wall is all that remains of the original Jewish temple, built around 3,000 years ago. That first temple was destroyed, as was the second. There are many who believe that the building of the third temple on this site is one of the prerequisites that will lead to the return of Christ and the beginning of Armageddon.
I mean, all over the world, in some ways, the Christian fundamentalists are very influential. Their whole scenario is that the Jews have to be restored to the land of Israel, and then we're moving towards this Armageddon. And in Armageddon, 2/3 of the Jews die, and then 1/3 of the Jews become Christians. And then this whole country is redeemed, and the Messiah comes back, and everything is great. Well, the Israelis say, you know what do we care? I mean, we'll cynically use them. And it's a very strong union. I mean, it completely, I think, morally erodes the Jewish community.
The only problem with rebuilding the Jewish temple is that there is one small obstacle in the way. Haram al-Sharif, the Dome of the Rock, is Islam's third most holy site, supposedly the place from where Muhammad ascended to heaven for a natter with Allah, and it sits on the site where the temple is supposed to be built. This makes things a little difficult to re-erect the temple and somewhat thwarts the potential return of Christ.
What is the Muslim view of the Wailing Wall?
That is the wall where Muhammad tied his horse. Yeah, mentioned in the Quran. If you did not believe me, you can buy the Quran. The Quran.
Oh, no, I believe you.
It's a tradition that people can write notes to God and put them in the wall. You can even fax them in, and the people in charge will put them in the wall for you, promising not to read them. The whole situation seems enough to drive anyone mad, and occasionally it does.
Listen, Israel, time grows short, and you must make a decision. Either you belong to me, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, or you belong to the world. And I warn you, Israel, the world hates you, and the world wants to see you destroyed.
This is a battle between God's people and the people that don't belong to God. And the people that do not belong to God claim that this land belongs to them. But God said this land belongs to the Jewish people forever.
So let's assume that you believe the Bible. God gave the land to the Jews.
Well, what if I don't believe the Bible?
Okay, well, that's your problem.
Well,
Then you have a problem. Then when you die, you have a problem.
Well, yeah, I'll
But
be
in the
dead.
meantime, that's how life is.
Right.
The people that claim this land that are not God's people, he will crush them. And he's just biding his time, and he will crush them.
Whereabouts are you originally from?
Originally from Texas, United States.
Are you just here on holiday?
Yeah, for a week. What did I say? For a month. For a month. I'm
For
sorry.
Christmas or?
Pardon?
For Christmas.
No, Hanukkah.
All
Hello, Hanukkah.
We're from New Zealand. We don't really have. We don't understand religion.
You have sheep. You don't have Hanukkah.
We don't have a lot of religion either. It's a little bit godless. Sorry.